Chicago got a little air conditioner in the air, but I am so excited just because I love sunshine. I'm a summer baby and I just thrive when it is sunshine and you can get out, you can get some vitamin D from the sun that we all need. And so this is the Diamond Factory where like-minded people get together every morning before they start their day to have be on the same page, some positivity. Because if you turn on the news, out goes the positivity. So here we are. My name is Phyllis Nash. I'm your Chief Sales Officer here at Akana, and glad to be before you this morning. I just thought about this. We are doing a I Am Every Woman. Hopefully this is something that can scale around the country. But I just love working and being in a team of people that come together with all their strengths and all their talents. And last night, as we're rounding up because it's a week from today, I think it's going to be a great experience for our customers, for our prospects, for our distributors, just to get together and share and have edutainment and have a little fun along the way, break bread together, have some libations, and just have some good conversation about what's more important than self-care. There's nothing more important than self-care, guys, because we do a lot, we are dealing with a lot, and we just need to take time out. We kind of never do that. But for me, the awareness of what the bioscan has done, to look at that report and see, hey, who is number one priority to get that oxygen? It would be yourself, because even the Bible says, love God, love yourself, and love your neighbor. And we need to take that more seriously, because if we're not taking care and doing self-care, we won't be here to help anybody. So I'm just saying kudos to teamwork. And I don't care if that team starts with one person and grows. You do need teamwork, because everybody has a strength. Everybody got blessed with a gift. And when we bring those gifts to the table together, we turn out excellence. And that's how I feel about the team I'm working with here in Chicago, getting the first ever I'm Every Woman together. So there's still time, guys. If you are not in Chicago, but you might have a prospect. I know Mike Newsom. He is sending prospects that he wants them to get a taste of what Akana is all about. And so he is sending them to the event. He's not here. He is in Richmond, Virginia, but he's still reaching out to people that he knows in Chicago and have invited them to attend the I Am Every Woman event. So again, it's an event that everybody would be proud of if you sent your guests, and they will get the feel of what Akana is. They will get the temperature of our culture. They'll get the community. They'll feel the love, because that's what we do when we get together. We like having a good time, like creating memories, and like having people on board. So again, I encourage you, no matter if you're in Chicago or not, and getting guests out is always a good way to expose your guests to something. You know, everybody is bombarded with, hey, I want you to look at my opportunity. I want you to look at, no, I want you to look at a lifestyle. I want you to look at something that's going to benefit you and your family. What's the most important thing you have is your health. And while doing so, having a good time and being edutained. So that is what it is more. And it's an experience. So let's look at this as a big old elevation experience, because anytime we're talking to people about Akana, we want them to experience it. And you know, you hear that, you talk it, you come together, and we know what we want people to do. And then how about somebody comes along and validates it? I was doing a three-way the other day, and the gentleman was a millennial. And he was saying the most important thing that he wants to see is how something is working that we're talking about. We can just say, oh, we got the best flat belly 3.0 in the world. We've just added this amazing berry, the arona berry, and it does eat. That's great. But how are real people experiencing that? How are we showing and highlighting and letting people know that what we're talking about, there are real people actually getting results? You're putting people up there on the more anytime you do an event. I don't care if it's by video, I don't care if it's by in person, I don't care if you're doing it at a home event. Those testimonials will do you better than any fact you can tell. And that's just what he said. He said, I want to see somebody really experiencing it. I want to see somebody getting up, going on their balcony and having that glass of that smoothie with all those wonderful ingredients in there. It's about lifestyle and showing that lifestyle, not just talking about how great the Flat Belly 3.0 is, but actually see people enjoying it. And so that was like a light bulb moment. We must be on to the right thing, because he said, that's how I buy. That's how I go on social media. If I see something that I would like to see myself doing, not so much what it does for me, but if they're riding in a drop top, having it, or if they're on the golf court, or if it's a bunch of baby boomers dancing and having fun, and you have in the background that they're all drinking the same juice, hey, that's going to make me buy. And so that's what we want to show, guys, is lifestyle, because people get bombarded with commercials all the time. And I'll tell you something that's really important, and I always have known this to be true. We talk about fortune is in the follow up. You guys don't get it if you don't follow up. It's, you know, a lot of times when people see stuff for the first time, they're not going to make a decision. That's why when I'm saying you invite them to your elevation experience parties, or you invite them to the Monday night webinar or the Sunday webinar, before they get there, you want to have sent them a couple of videos so they're not hearing everything for the first time if you want them to make a decision. And even then, it says it takes 7 exposures for the average person to make a decision. So if they come to one of the elevation parties, they see other people that are involved. They might see some testimonies going on. They might get to experience a gummy, or they might get to experience a little of the juice. Then they leave there. They've gotten their bioscan done. They now know about their blood type. You might give them a little sheet that says, this is what type A's are supposed to eat. Now they're in a circle of people. A lot of times people are hesitant to kind of ask their questions, but they're taking it all in. They're thinking about it. They're looking at those yellows on their bioscan. They're looking at those blues and saying, dang. And then you're showing them Beatrice Foster's bioscan, where in 2021 it looked this way, and now in 2023, after following the flat belly regime for that time, she has increased to this. That's all on their mind. They might not be speaking it, might be saying it, but the fortune is in the follow-up. And then you touch bases with your guests a day or two after they've been at your elevation experience. And you said, hey, we touched on a lot of things. I know there were a lot of people there. And a good time to do this is in the first 48 hours of you having the event. But is there any other questions that you might need to ask that you might not have wanted to ask in front of everybody there? And then let them start talking to you. Some of them will, some of them won't. And definitely you will get more of a interaction, because now the guards are down. They've had a couple of days to look at the information, look at their report, because you let them take a snapshot of those 5 things that we talk about: the heart, the brain, the kidney, the liver, and the pH. And now they might have some questions. So the fortune is in the follow-up at all times. And I experienced that. I had a party last Thursday. The young lady and I talked again within 48 hours. She says, let me just wrap my head around it and think about it. And then today is Friday, on Wednesday morning, she called me and she says, you know what, I'm ready to get started. And then I said, okay. And she happened to live in my building. If she didn't, we could have still had the same conversation on the phone. But when she came down, She got the product and she said, I am like this. I really enjoyed the event, but I have to kind of do my own research. I kind of want a little one-on-one time so I can ask you everything I need to do. But once I made up my mind, I'm ready to go. And I'm just glad you gave me the opportunity to do that. And so, guys, it did not happen in one day, but it happened if you do follow the system of following up, being able to expose. No, let me go back. Not following the system to follow up, but following the system to do your videos, to do your webinars, to do your elevation experiences in your home, to have those little intimate settings, to then follow up within 48 hours and then be open. Let that person know, hey, I'm open to, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to come. And I'm just going to read something from somebody that is major in this industry of MLM and who has helped millions and millions of people. And I can say millions because he's worldwide. And if you've ever attended any of his events, you know that he is well respected in the industry. But I'd like to give you an example of how he feels about following up. And this is Eric Worre. And so I'm not going to try to paraphrase. I'm just going to read it straight from what he says. He says, following up is one of the most important skills needed to succeed in the network marketing profession. And guys, whether you know it or not, that's what profession you are in. So why? Because that's a little paraphrase. So why? Because if you don't follow up after an exposure, the conversation is over. What does he mean? So today I'm going to give you the number one tip for following up with a prospect. It's critical to your success. The only reason to have an exposure with a prospect is to schedule another one. Think about it. Give them the videos. When can I follow up? Get them on the webinar. I'm going to call you back after it's over to see what you like best. See, those are examples of the next exposure. That's it. If you can stick to that, it will be transformational for your business. So here's an example of the exact language you should use. Let's say you want to watch a video. So now this is me, guys. It took me a long time to get comfortable with scripts. I just wanted to turn it around. I wanted to make it my own, and you can after a while. But Melissa Boston is the master of scripts. When early on, or if any time she's prospecting, not with her CEO hat on, but with her bad boss, I don't want to say the word diva, self, being a number one MLMer, she will be using scripts, and it flows so effortlessly that you really don't realize it's a script until you go back and read a script book that she's given you. She is a master. And then I'll never forget another time, Melissa and I were in Maryland. I don't know where we were. We were on a trip. And we went to a shopping mall. And this guy got us both to spend over $800 on some skincare. But every word that came out of his mouth was a script. And again, I knew it was a script. I sat there laughing, but I had to sit back and say, this guy is bad. But he was doing it by script. And guess what? He got $800 out of both of our pockets. So that's the power of a script. So don't take as long as I did to get that. So this is what he's saying. If you give a video, if I gave you a video, would you watch it and stop and wait for the answer? When do you think you can watch it for sure? So if I called you after that, you'd have to have seen it for sure. I need you to see the video because it's very important. Great. What is the best number and time for me to call? So what you've done is solidified that, hey, if I give you this, are you going to watch it? Because that's the important part. And the important part is when I call you back at the time you've given me, you're going to have watched this video, right? And so then he says, and there it is. You have just scheduled your next exposure. So again, for me, when I say here are the videos, I'd love for you to take a look at it. It's going to give you an overview of what I'm talking about When's the best time for me to follow up? This evening or tomorrow afternoon? And so then you get your next exposure, which is your goal. Again, you know, it takes 7 exposures for the average person to make a decision. Then he says, yeah, you got it, to schedule the next one. It's always something to schedule the next one. Now I don't have to read that part. So my point is, his thing is always in the follow-up. You must keep continuing to have them there in front of you. You got the videos. You got the webinars, you got your 3-way call. Now you have your elevation experiences. It goes from one to another. And let me tell you about the young lady that just purchased the product. She got exposed more than 7 months ago. So it does not always happen when you think it should. But if you're continuously doing your job, all of that adds up. Now, let me tell you, she got exposed 7 months ago. She bought the product on Wednesday. She went to her friend on yesterday who owns a clinic for healing. And guess what? That lady is looking at the videos and she wants to do the cleanse too. So again, guys, it might seem like a lot, but if you get that on a roll, if you say your goal, whatever your goal is, and I'm not pushing, hey, whatever your goal is, because you know who you are, I'm following Scott Reese's advice. Hey, if you are saying, I want to do this on my time and I just want to add a couple of people a month, then whatever it is, you do it. But my point is, be consistent in building your business. And the number one tip is to always follow up, because the fortune is definitely in the follow-up. I'm 2 minutes over, guys. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to bring up Dr. Ross to tell you what her events are tomorrow. I Am Every Woman is going on. Boot camp, I got to tell you guys, if you are serious about building your business, and I mean, you hear that a lot, but boot camp is going to be just that. It's no frills. It's not pretty. It's going to be going to work. And what I've heard, according to what Scott Reese has, and for those of you that have been on those calls, that you're going to be working. You're not just going to be listening. You are going to be interacting, doing what it takes to go to the next level. So I'm going to bring up Dr. Ross to talk about tomorrow while I check my messages to see if people are asking me to tell you guys something. Hold on. Dr. Ross, could you unmute and talk about tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, dear.
Awesome. All right. So tomorrow at 10 a.m., as our usual custom, we will definitely be there to spread the word, get your guests on there. Maybe you've had guests you couldn't get on throughout the week. 10 a.m. Central Standard Time will be the place that will be right there.
Okay. And let me see. Minister Diamond Willie Mooney, could you unmute and talk about Saturday in Chicago? Minister Diamond Willie Mooney.
Great morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Well, I'm super excited. Once again, we are approaching another Saturday, 8 a.m. We will have training for all distributors who want to show up at 8 a.m. sharp. That's what's going on. And then at 9 a.m., those who are wanting to do bioscans and be bioscan coaches tomorrow, please show up at 9 a.m. to begin your setup. And then at 10 a.m. sharp, we're going straight into doing the bioscan from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then once 11 a.m. hits, we are doing that presentation that closes out the room. So I'm looking forward to seeing every single coach there, every single person there who wants nuggets. We've been dropping the nuggets, Phyllis. The nuggets at 8 a.m. See you sharp. See you there. Bye-bye.
Awesome. And then, as leaders do, and she was called to action as well as everybody across the country, but Miss Bernadine Kirkland and the Blessed Branches in Boston will be doing a kind of wellness day. That's going to be July 6th and 7th. And that's going to be 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern time, guys. free products, raffles for all who register. And so, Bernadine, would you please put this up on both? They're going to be doing blood type testing as well as bioscan education. Would you put this on both the Wakana page, Akana page for lifestyle on the group page on Facebook, as well as the Flat Belly page, so people around the country will know? Guys, I'm sure if you send your guest prospects there, you reach out to the leaders in Boston, they will take care of your people, and that's called building across the nation. And so with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you that came on board this morning. And what I need you to go out there and do is push. And leaders, rubies and above, please meet me on our call. Bye now. Thanks, Dr. Rice and Dr. Moon, Minister Moon.